Hello, and welcome to My Xbox and Me, episode 256, I think. I got it wrong last week, Crash. I said 54, and it wasn't, so that would have been 55. Now this would be 56.
Oh.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. I realised when I named it and was like, ooh, that isn't correct. That isn't right. My bad.
That's for all the people that think you fake it, every time.
I know, I don't fake it. I generally don't. I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer, alongside my good friend, the one and only, my Suicide Squad? I don't know, the reference. I couldn't get one in there, Crash, quick enough. My brain weren't moving fast enough there. I'm sorry. Too fresh,
okay,
Crash.
okay.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
I was going to call you my boomerang to my boomer, right? I was going to try and do something, my hammer to my Harley Quinn, my king to my croc. I was going to go with something like that, but I just couldn't. I couldn't pull it off. I
hear that. It happens sometimes. I don't blame you.
Thank you for not blaming
people just can't perform.
I don't have performance issues. I swear.
Sure?
I mean, maybe, but you have to. I'm not the person to ask. I'll be honest with you. I'm not the person to ask. If you don't know what this is, My Xbox and Me is our weekly Xbox podcast right here on YouTube.com/MyXboxandMe and all podcast services. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us on iTunes. You can find us on Google Play. You can find us on podcasts. You can find us all over the place. If you do want to help the show, non-financially, please review us on every podcast service that you listen to us on. If you can give us 5 stars, if you can write a little review, if you can steal your nan's phone and take it, but Nan, I need your phone, you've got an Apple phone, I've got to review My Xbox and Me, it does go a really, really, really long way. So if you can do that for us, please, please, please do. If you cannot, but you do want to support the show financially, you can head over to patreon.com/mcfixer. We had a good month, and then we lost some people. So, it's one of those things. It happens. It's Patreon. And there's a global pandemic. I totally understand it. Don't stress. But as you can see on my content and My Xbox and Me, I'm trying to get some editors in. There's a lot going on right now. One day I would love to be able to buy a Crush a game. So that would be nice, That'd be nice. If I can't get my code, it'd be nice to get my game. That'd be lovely. But, we're trying. Crush, how you been?
I've been good,
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you think this segment needs to be called like the and me, or do we just do what we always do? Usually we bullshit in the front, then we go on. I'm gonna keep it 100. I've been thinking about My Xbox and Me a lot lately. A lot.
I'll be honest. I don't think there's any harm in trying it, right? And then if it doesn't work out, we act like it never happened.
I mean,
and me segment, I don't remember that. I don't remember us doing that. Fix you? No.
Do you remember Ross Miller? Nope, me either. No, My Xbox and Me's going so long. It's been going so long now, and yeah. It's a 2-man podcast. It's been a 3-man podcast. It's been a 4-man podcast. It's been a 4-person podcast. I shouldn't say that because I've had very many females on the show. So for me, I'm just like, what are we now? Do I still want to do news segments? Like, do I need that? Does anybody come here on a weekly basis to hear news? Or do we have such a slice of a segment of an audience that already know the news? They just want to hear our opinions on the news. They don't really need us to read the news then. They just need us to hit that headline and give us an opinion, I don't know. I've been thinking about it. It's a lot.
What we need people who are listening to this to do,
there's a lot of people that listen
on Twitter, the My Xbox and Me Twitter, email in the Discord,
everywhere,
anywhere possible. Just hit us up.
We just need feedback.
I'll be honest. I think if we didn't have to read the news, I think it would flow a lot better.
Yeah.
But I also understand if people don't keep up with the news, why they'd want us to read the news and everything, right?
Exactly. It's that thing where it's like, is this your weekly news show where you hear about what the hell's gone on in the industry? Or is this just I want to hear what Fixer and Krish have to say on certain topics that I care about? I just don't know, I just don't know what My Xbox and Me is anymore. I don't know. But yeah, anyway, other than that, oh man, it's been a weekend, Crush. It's been a weekend. Yeah. So I tricked Haley yesterday. Tricked her nice and good. How'd I do?
You did really good. I thought you're so lucky I didn't mention anything because I thought you were doing it Friday.
Oh my god.
I thought you were doing it fine. So if I went in there,
Oh
and
my
if you didn't
god.
message me and I saw Haley there, I was like, oh, I probably would have said
It would have been
something.
you. So for those who don't know, so
Yeah.
I live stream over on twitch.tv/mcfixer, and 2 weeks ago we set out. It was Haley's birthday in August, as you can see the birthday cards behind me if you're watching the video. I set out that we were gonna do her an Alice in Wonderland tea party. So the thing was, we were gonna go up London. I was gonna take her up London, take her to an Alice in Wonderland tea party. I was like, yo, what? I can't take her up London. COVID, just not worth the risk. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Right.
Shout out to Doggo in the back though, Crash, because he's so fucking cute.
Oh,
Look at
see
him. He's there. Look at him. He just looked at you. Ah! He's part of the show now. We got a Doggo on it. Anyway. And then I was just like, you know what? How about instead of taking her up London, I do it all myself. So I phoned my aunt, she does baking and stuff. I was like, can you help me do this? Can we get this done? She's like, we can definitely do it. And then, I set up a whole tea party, a whole real tea party, Crash. So real tea party. That was all me, bro. I did all that.
Yeah, I was once you guys posted the pictures in Discord. I was very impressed. It looked really good.
I made all the food.
So,
I didn't make the macarons. I need to make that very clear, because that was the thing. Everyone was like, I'm like, yeah, I made it all myself, and then everyone was like, you didn't make those macarons. I was like, no, I didn't make the macarons. That's very true. But
everything else
was me. I did it. Me and my aunt. My aunt very much came in with the. She's like, you know Mario Kart Double Dash, the person on the back throwing all the items. She was definitely that person. Let me tell you. It's like, you need this, you need this, you need this, you need this, you need this. Done. Okay. Go. Whip, 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 whip. Here we go. But yeah. So we celebrated Haley's 27th birthday, which also coincides with our 6-year engagement anniversary, which is the day after. So I gotta be honest, I didn't know that. So I was just like, whatever.
It was
surprise.
It was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. Haley calling you out on that, like, oh, this is our anniversary, and you're like totally dumbfounded at that point.
I had no clue because but the thing. So what happened? I'll tell you the truth. Yeah, getting a hot my Xbox to me exclusive. Nothing about Xbox, just about Alice in Wonderland tea parties. So, got it all done, got back, yeah? She's playing Gears of War with everyone, perfect. She's fine. And then, I'm trying to put the tea set together, and I got it stuck, and couldn't undo it as I'd done it wrong. So I'm stressing about that. So for about 20 minutes, I'm trying to undo this tea set that I can't do. I had to go get 2 pairs of pliers, and twist it the opposite way. Dude, and it's all fine china. So this was all
so you don't want to
this was
mess
all
it up.
top stuff that I bought. It was So it was just a weekend, dude. So yeah, for those who don't understand, we're recording my Xbox in me late. Obviously, the DC fandom was yesterday. We're gonna get into that. Everyone, calm down. If you're watching this YouTube video, who's these 2 idiots talking about this crap? Shut up. This is the and me part of the show. But what's up with you? What have you been up to? I saw you streamed again.
I did. I streamed. That went well. I enjoyed it.
You played Mortal Shell, right?
Yes, I played Mortal
Which we'll
Shell.
talk about in a little bit. But yeah, I got offered the code for it. One of the kind of funny best friends who was at one of the meetups I did DM me saying, hey, I'm doing the publishing for Mortal Shell. Do you want a code? And I was like, I don't know. I'll find out and hear what Chris has to say first, and then I'll tell you. But yeah, Haley said she was watching you, so.
Yeah, she hung out for a while. I was surprised with how long she hung out. She hung out even after. Are you gonna play it? If you're gonna play it, I don't want to.
What, Mortal Shell? No, spiders. She told me spiders. She told me the spiders.
Spider.
Yeah. She said she mentioned that part, but yeah.
But so a spider pops up. She didn't leave,
No, I think she's for those who don't know, she's now streaming as well. My fiance, and she got affiliated in 7 days. She really worked really hard. I don't want to undermine anybody else, but for what she does as someone who's not a streamer, she actually did work really hard. She did 27 hours in 7 days of streaming, so...
She was streaming longer than you some of the days.
Yeah, that's right. I was like, nah, I'm done for the day. I've got emails to do. But yeah, proud of her. Very much proud. If you want to go follow her, she's at The Haley Show. On Twitch, she does art stuff and plays Animal Crossing, and she'll probably be playing a lot of Avengers and Suicide Squad when we get to that. So, yeah, sounds good. Everything else good though?
Everything else is good. The house is going good.
Good.
Nothing really.
Nothing else. Fair enough. Well, let's jump into topic of the show then, Chris, shall we? And the topic of the show, I didn't know which one to go with of the two of the big newses that have dropped, so I've gone with this one, which is Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. A first trailer has been shown. It is coming out in 2022. This one was written by IGN's Matt Kim. Are you doing showing the time zones, or am I?
I'm doing it.
Cool.
I'm not doing it where it's
you're fine. I'm just leaving you to it. I'm not even going to think about it again. You've got this. I believe in you. Rocksteady Studios' Batman Arkham series follow-up returns to the developer to the world of the DC Comics. And now we are actually know about what Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League entails. Beyond the obvious, given its title, and all Suicide Squad has moved... its title and all. Suicide Squad has moved to a 2022 release window, revealed during the game's DC fandom panel. The first trailer revealed the Suicide Squad roster, which includes Harley Quinn, Captain Boomerang, Deadshot, and King Shark, as the name implies, and as revealed in the first trailer. Superman has become evil or something, and the Suicide Squad is tasked with killing the Justice League. The plot of the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League follows closely to the plot of the Suicide Squad comic books. The DC Universe notorious villains are contracted by the government to form the Task Force X and carry out
clandestine.
Jesus, that's a word. Clandestine missions in exchange for a full pardon. We'll leave it there for now. We'll carry on reading on to give a little bit more. But what were your initial thoughts of the trailer? Obviously, no gameplay, so it's just sort of a tonal piece that we got to see. What did you think?
I think they set the tone good with the different characters, right?
Yeah.
They all seem very unique and different in their own way. I like that. I like the way they're portraying the characters. I like all of that, but no gameplay.
I'm not mad about the no gameplay. The thing that shocked me the most about the trailer, actually, because I only watched it this morning because I didn't stay up to cover it, because where I live, I just can't do it anymore. Yeah, I just can't do that at the moment. I was like, oh, it's not dark. It's not gritty. It looks more like Sunset Overdrive. And that's like the first thing Haley said as well when she was watching. She's like, oh, this art style kind of reminds me, like the tone, the world, the colouring was a little bit, not as goofy, nowhere near as goofy.
Yeah.
But just very bright, very vibrant, very much, just not what I was expecting from Rocksteady, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah, no, I think you also have to remember, like, the game takes place in Metropolis, so all those changes make a lot of sense, right? So that it is brighter and all that stuff.
Unfortunately for me, as a dumb idiot who doesn't care about DC, I've heard of Metropolis, but I generally, like, that's where Superman is a journalist. Is that right?
Yeah, Superman is a journalist. In general, whenever you see Gotham, it's nighttime. Whenever you see Metropolis, it's daytime.
Okay, so that's like that's what I need to know. Yeah, perfect. Thank you for giving me that information.
No problem.
I'll tell you what, Chris. Here's one. So I almost, the photo I showed you of me as a child with the Batman thing on, right? I almost posted that, like, oh, super excited for all the Batman news, and I thought, if I post this picture, Chris is gonna come for me so goddamn hard and calling me a fanboy. I was like, nope, I'm not even doing this. Like, you don't even care about DC, fix, so you liar, which is true. But I literally laid in bed today and I said, I think, like, the next couple of weekends I'm gonna take for myself, no work, and I'm just gonna, all the films that I've missed, the Batman films that I've missed, even some of the older ones that I've missed, like I've seen, like, Batman and Robin, one with Mr. Freeze, right? Is that two different films? Maybe. I've seen a couple of those. Yeah, I've seen a couple of those ones, but I feel like there's a lot of nerd culture that I am oblivious to, as you know, anime, stuff like that. I feel like my weekends, I need to sort of just give myself the time, and just go, all right, why do people love this? Why do people love this? Instead of just doing my typical thing, which is, who cares? You know what I'm like.
If I don't care, it's irrelevant.
If I don't care, it doesn't matter to the world, like, sort of thing. So I'm gonna take some time. But yeah, back to what you're saying about the game.
I don't remember, I'll be honest.
Okay, well, for me, it's just, like I said, I was very shocked at the tone. It looks very much like it is going to be funny-ish. Yeah. Ish. Like, there definitely is a element of humor there.
It's
Good.
it's really telling because Harley Quinn's in the main cast.
Yeah.
And like even in the Batman games, whenever Harley Quinn was there, it generally was a lighter tone. Even
Yeah.
if like she's
Yeah.
killing
Yeah.
somebody, it is done in a lighter tone way.
Yeah.
So I would expect a lot of that. Like all the characters seemed humorous in their own regard, right?
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
It was a good trailer to show you like this is the world you're going to be planning. It's a is this so again I've only seen the trailers. I didn't get to see like the whole dome and all that stuff. I know that it's co-op. It's 1 to 4 player co-op. Let me read it here. Suicide Squad will also be a 1 to 4 player experience. Rocksteady says it will be completely playable in single player with bots filling in the role of the other 3 characters, or load in with 3 friends as a full 4-player squad. Furthermore, players will be able to jump in at any time. So start a game in a single player, have 1 or 2 friends join, and maybe a friend leaves. It's all up to you. So yeah, it is a 4-player Suicide Squad game, which we were kind of expecting, right? I'll go on and read this, which is Rocksteady appeared during the stream to share some additional details, including gameplay, which will include Rocksteady's superhero villains empowerment from the Arkham games, plus gunplay, as these villains are more well armed. It's set, like Crash said, in the open world of Metropolis. Each character has their own unique movement with enhanced traversal abilities to freely explore the dynamic open world of Metropolis, along with a variety of weapons to customize and skills to master. So yeah, it's pretty much what we were expecting from a Suicide Squad game, I would say. Really?
Yeah, I mean, even with like the games of the service rumor, which we don't know is necessarily true.
That's what I was just about to ask you. So do you think it's a games of service?
I don't know yet. I think we have to. I think we have to wait on that one, just because like it's a 4-player co-op game doesn't necessarily mean it's a game of service.
I agree. Yeah.
I think right now a lot of people will probably be leaning towards yes, only because a lot of what they talked about kind of sounds like an overlaps with what Avengers doing.
Yep.
And that's the games with service.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a lot of people will be drawing that comparison, even though I don't think it's necessarily fair yet, just because we haven't actually seen anything from the Kill the Justice League Suicide Squad game.
Yeah. What do you want? Do you want it to be a 4-player? Again, without talking about the next story, it kind of feels like they're hitting both sides of that sort of thing. In what Montreal are doing, and obviously Rocksteady. I think I'm very much with you. I think this is going to be their games of service. They're one that they're going to keep building out. They've obviously chosen a lighter tone to get more people in as well. So
you also said it like it's not as detailed is one thing I noticed. It's not as detailed as Batman was, right? It takes place in the Arkham universe. Not to say that it looks ugly. It's just they opted for less detail, which means it's easier to have more things going on. It's a 4-player co-op game, but it also means it's easier to make content and add content for the game.
Yeah.
So I could absolutely see this being games with service. I would be interested in it being a games with service game, especially because you are in an open world, right?
Yeah.
You're in an open world Metropolis. They could add other cities, all that stuff later on. That's whatever. But the fact that you are in an open world, I think, is very intriguing as opposed to what Avengers is doing, where it is sort of like you're loading these levels and doing whatever it is in these levels.
Yeah. You hit on something very important there, so I should probably speak about it, which is speaking during the DC fandom, Rocksteady Studios' Stephen Hill confirmed Suicide Squad is a continuation of the Arkham universe that began in Batman Arkham Asylum and came to its seeming end in Batman Arkham Knight. Hill explained that Suicide Squad is part of this world and will actually let players see the continuation of the plot threads and characters first introduced in those Arkham games. I mean, that was like the important part for me, which is like, oh, cool. We are finally getting to a place where, as much as I love Origins, the Arkham series is a universe. Is a universe. We're going to see this game. Maybe we'll see more games down the line.
Yeah.
It's weird though, because like you add that conversation of like WB wanted to sell all their games divisions off. It's like, huh?
I don't think they did.
You don't think they actually did want to sell it?
No, I don't. I really think they were just like sort of price checking, like what people would be offering. And if they got a good enough offer,
Interesting.
they were probably like, yeah, we'll sell it for like whatever ridiculous price they were asking for.
Yeah.
But I think more so who was AT&T bought them.
Yes.
AT&T wanted to price check and see like how much is this actually worth, and also like they probably have like estimates about how much money they'll make, and for them it's probably like there was a possibility they would sell, but I don't think they went into it like,
This
okay,
was
we're
something
gonna
we
sell
need to do.
WB.
It's not a fact of needing to sell. It's a fact of like, if the right offer came in, we would have taken it. But
Yeah.
it just seems when you've got the 2 games that were shown, and obviously everything they're doing with DC fandom, and like just the sheer amount of volume that they've done, and it's got me super hyped for now. They're pushing Marvel now to have to do something similar, and obviously I'm more of a Marvel guy, and I'm like, oh man, this could be really damn cool.
Yeah, I want to take a moment. Like the DC fandom event was actually like really, really well done.
Oh, nice. That's good.
The whole thing, they had a whole schedule of when stuff was gonna happen. They had a whole day of activity. So like, hey, I don't want to watch this, so I don't want to pop in. They repeated stuff later on. So if you did miss anything and you want to watch the segment, they also uploaded like trailers and stuff like that right away, which I think
Nice.
was like really good.
Yeah.
Not gaming related. I just wanted to give
No,
them a
yeah,
shout
just
out
give the
for that,
shout
though.
out. No, 100%.
Yeah.
I haven't got really much else to add onto the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, apart from maybe obviously Batman being evil, Superman being evil. Do you think we see some more people?
Yeah.
Who else do you think we see? Because I don't think we'll see Batman in this.
No, Batman's supposed to be dead.
So, because it's the same universe, of course. Yeah. Of course. Sorry, yeah. My bad. It's been a while since I played those games. I will replay them. That is one series, because I never played the side quests in any of the Batman games, because I was just beelining through. I'd love to go and actually learn about these, like I was saying beforehand, like taking that time to learn about all these different characters that I don't really have any touch points to.
I would really, really recommend watching the animated series.
Dude, but I can't. Where can I watch it? I've thought I want to watch it. I just where I don't know. Again, I don't want to buy them.
HBO. I'll try and get the HBO Max password for you.
Did we talk about that last week?
Yeah, we did. I completely forgot. We talked about it. I completely forgot.
No. I'm not saying like I need them, but I'm like, there's got to be somewhere I can watch it. Somebody's got to be at. Where do you watch your animated Batman stuff? Tell me, UK people. Tell me. I don't have a clue. Yeah, but yeah, that would be a good place to start probably for me.
Yeah, because it does that show did a really good job of introducing you to characters and villains, and making the villains making you care about the villains.
Oh,
right?
okay.
It's the animated show that introduced Harley Quinn. It's where Harley Quinn was created.
Yeah.
Mr. Freeze where his whole that's where his whole character was basically developed, because before that Mr. Freeze wasn't necessarily like everything he's doing is for his wife, who's like really sick, which wasn't done before that, if I'm not mistaken. Like that's something that was introduced in the animated series. So I think the animated series does a really good job of making these characters you can
more
relate
fleshed
to
out as well. Sounds like got ya. Okay, yeah. I'll definitely give it a shot, because why the hell not? Should we move on to the second? Go on.
I just have we can talk about this later, because I was gonna ask about Avengers and if this affects Avengers, but we can actually talk about it after the next bit.
Okay, cool. So second topic of the show, I guess. Gotham Knights, WB Montreal's game, has also been announced. WB Games Montreal game, Batman game is officially announced, known as Gotham Knights, set for release in 2021 for Xbox One and Xbox Series X, along with PC, PS4, and PS5. Shown at DC Fandom, the game will feature 2-player co-op, 5 boroughs of Gotham City for players to explore, the ability to drive around via a Batcycle, which looked dope in my opinion, and an arsenal of combat and gear that will grow as the game progresses. The debut trailer opened with the voiceover describing a disaster in Gotham City, with Bruce Wayne's body seemingly found in the rubble. Among the characters shown as Batgirl, Robin, Nightwing, and Red Hood, here is the official description of each character, in which teases some unique abilities. Each character's abilities on the table. Batgirl, also known as Barbara Gordon, is a determined fighter and a skilled hacker. As daughter of deceased Gotham Commissioner Jim Gordon, she has helped Batman and Oko,
as Oracle.
as Oracle. Thank you. It's Oracle. How you say that? I remember messing it up
Yeah.
when I was. What game is she in? She's in City.
Knight.
Knight, sorry, it's Knight. And I was like, I don't know who this is. And everyone in chat's like, that's Buddha's daughter. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know this stuff. I'm sorry. In the past, we'll leave it there because I don't want to go through too much of it. Nightwing is Dick Grayson, the first Robin, who was Batman's protege before becoming a hero of his own right. He's a natural leader and the eldest and wisest member of the Batman family. Nightwing's mystery in acrobatics is complemented by his experience use of his signal dual Escramum sticks? Escramum sticks? Making him...
Escrima.
What's the Escrima? What's that? That's the sticks, obviously. I don't know. You got Red Hood, formerly known as Jason Todd, is an intense and violent anti-hero, which stems from his death and focused resurrection. Forced. Motherfucker. Resurrected by one of Batman's most dangerous foes. This is why I need to read these things beforehand. Then I don't feel as anxious and nervous to read all this shit. Robin is Tim Drake, the young prodigy and genius of the team, who is a master of detective reasoning. It's not deductive reasoning. As a true believer in Batman's mission, he is motivated by conviction that Gotham City needs protecting. We'll leave it there. But you've got the cast of characters are there, Crush. The trailer features all the heroes in action, as well as a final tease that the Court of Owls will play a major role in the game. But the development teased that, quote, the mystery in Gotham Knights is way bigger than just the Court of Owls. We got 7 minutes of Gotham Knight gameplay, which you can view below, which you can't, obviously, because I read this from IGN. Also, I don't know if I said who wrote this. This was written by... Oh, no, I haven't got this one down. I will go back and look. The first one was by Matt Kim, though. What did you think of this game? Because I was pleasantly surprised, actually, by this. As someone who loves Origins, obviously, and gets slagged off for it, I thought this looked really, really good. I'm surprised by it, but I was a little bit worried when they showed the co-op, though.
I actually liked it, and I liked it even more when I saw the co-op.
You love everything with co-op.
I think co-op makes games funner.
Yeah.
I actually I really liked it. One thing that I do want to say that I'm very glad they did is when they did Origins. Origins was a good game.
Fantastic
the problem with
game.
Origins is that it's compared to every other Batman game.
True.
And it's hard to live up to.
It's better than all of them, so it's crazy.
I actually disagree with that, and the only reason that you say it's better than all of them is because it's the first Batman game you played.
Probably.
So it's the basis for why you like the formula.
Probably.
But in general, other than you, and actually you're not the only one.
I'm not the only one. I've met people. I've met people that have totally been like, "What's your favorite Batman game?" I go Origins. They go, "We're friends." I'm
Another
like,
one. I thought I was the only one.
Exactly.
Out here. You're not the only one, but it was the least well received. So I am glad they're sort of like, hey, we can take sort of the baseline of what an Arkham game is and sort of turn it into our own thing, which I think is really good. And I'm very glad they decided to do that. Which
it very much looks like they're doing with this game as well. It's very much, hey, they're doing something else over there. This is what we're doing. The actual moment-to-moment gameplay looks really fun. Like, the combat looks dope. Obviously, the cast of characters is something new to me, which isn't new to everybody else, but to me it's new. So I'm super excited to learn a little bit more about these other characters. Batman to me is Batman. You know, like, the world is Batman. It's Batman. I know that, there's some other people around, and there's Joker. Cool. That's Batman. That's the Batman world to me. I know that my brain is too small, and I need to make it bigger and expand what this world is. How do you feel about Batman being dead? Is he dead? Do you feel like he's dead in this one?
I don't know. He could be dead.
Yeah.
It's a comic book game. They could do anything. They could be like, he's back alive because he never died, or they're like, we found a magic potion that brought him back to life. It doesn't really matter.
He wanted to see they could work together, so they
they just
to be dead.
them.
Exactly.
Yeah. But no, I really liked what we saw. I like that it seemed to be more arcadey in general with like
Yes.
everything as you're traversing like the ice fortress and all this stuff, and it breaks down and slides off. And I'm like, that's not something that would have probably been done like that if it even was done something similar to that in the old Arkham games.
Yeah.
Important to note, this game doesn't take place in the Arkham universe. It
No.
is its own thing.
Yeah, which is perfect.
Um,
I think.
yeah, yeah.
I think
it's better. Distance yourself as far away from Arkham, and I think they'll do fantastic. I really like the look of the game. I like that the motorcycles. I think
they look good.
It looks like it's going to be the best part of the Batmobile, which is getting around the city and no tank fights. So there's that.
Batmobile sucks. Don't care what anybody says. I know you liked it somewhat. But yeah, no, I agree.
Driving around in the Batmobile was fun. Fix.
Batmobile sucked. I hate the Batmobile. Everything about it. Everything about the Batmobile.
It's the best.
Sucked.
It's the best driving in any game ever. Forza, bad.
I thought you wasn't memeing there for a second. I was like, okay, damn. But I have to get rid of him. I'm sorry. I really liked what I saw. I really, really liked what I saw. Yeah. Again, I'm hesitant to the fact that it's co-op, but I do understand it. If I play this, say it was me and you playing, I think it'd be more a case of every cutscene I'm muting you, or I'm muting, we're both muting. Yeah. So, because those are the moments that spoil co-op for me, is when you're trying to tell me a story, and I'm playing with whoever it is, and instead of listening and understanding what they're trying to tell me, we're just talking over it the whole time. Same thing that happens when, like, VO dialogue comes over through, like, a Batgirl, you gotta go here. Like, you miss those sort of bits when you play co-op, I feel like, anyway.
I think it has to be done well. I think one of the big things about that is, like, you have to make the characters, like, worth listening to.
Yeah.
Which I feel like a lot of co-op games, like, their main focus is a co-op experience.
Borderlands.
That's necessarily... Yeah, that's not...
Like, to me...
That's not necessarily a draw to co-op, though.
I couldn't really tell you...
character dialogue, it's you playing with your friends.
I couldn't tell you anything that any of the people talking to you over microphone, like whatever, that radio.
If it's not a cutscene, like, you weren't paying attention.
Exactly. Like, I'm just like, unless it was Tiny Tina. That's the only. But like you just said, that kind of plays into what you're saying. It's like, I care about Tiny Tina, so I'm like, Chris, shut the hell up. I want to hear what Tiny Tina's saying. Like, So.
I think it's also a good sign that it's only 2-player co-op instead of like 4-player. So it is like sort of a more controlled experience. What I want to know now, and this information might be out there, they might have like released a statement on this, I didn't see anything, is if I get to pick who I'm playing, or it's like, these are the available characters for this mission and you have to pick between these characters. I'm going to assume, it's going to be so weird for the story, but I'm going to assume with the way they were talking about you building your own hero and all this stuff, is that you pick who you're playing. The only thing would be for like the story beats, like, how does that work in those
cases, I say, then the story won't be based around the characters per se, then it'll be more based around the world, right? If you can pick any character at any time, it's never going to be a story of like this character. It's like, it doesn't matter, interchange here, but the world is more important and the villains are more important, I guess, would be the thing, which I'm fine with.
Yeah, it could work with Batman, right? Batman has a great cast of villains, so it could work.
Yeah.
It's just, would they do that? Because they did also sell you a lot on turning these characters into heroes, and if they are sort of like just the catalyst for you to experience the game, then maybe they're not fully accomplishing that.
Yeah.
So that's something I'm really interested to see with what direction they go for that.
I mean, I'm excited. Another one that I'm excited for. I think it looked very good. Coming obviously next year. This game's coming to, like I say, this game's coming to all gen, and the last one's coming to just next gen. Or have I got it the other way around?
No, you're right.
I'm right. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's, again, I love superhero games. I love the Batman games. I've played them. I've enjoyed them. I want to get more deeper into this world. If both these games, especially Gotham Knights, is done by a developer that I really like their style of game the first time round. So you're adding co-op onto that. You're adding a cast of characters I don't know. You're adding a story of where Batman's dead. Cool, let's go for it. Let's figure this out. Let's find out what this is about. So,
the only issue I might have with the game, is level gating. It's every time since Assassin's Creed. I see numbers pop up and levels and all that stuff, I always get a little bit bothered by level gating and always worried about it. Not bothered. I think that's the wrong word. I always get worried about it. And so the first thing I saw with level gating was like, oh, it's an RPG. Cool, I like RPGs. But if there's level gating, that's a huge no for me, man.
If there's level gating, but not... My problem is I don't hate level gating if there's plenty to do in the world that is fun to do. If you are making the other stuff around me, and that's something I don't think Assassin's Creed did well, which was, it was more like, with Assassin's Creed, it's like, go take down these cases, like, it's the same thing, but like, we don't want that in Assassin's Creed, because you want to be able to just go and do whatever you want to do in this world, where maybe in this world, in the Gotham Knights world, it's going to be a case of, there is level gating, so you can't just keep mission to mission grinding, but there are fun things to do, whether it is taking down bandits who are robbing a bank, or I don't know, I'm just throwing stuff out there,
Right.
or I hate like like Spider-Man, I hate like missions where you like time trial stuff. I don't want any of that crap.
I don't.
Yeah, but not that I think they will have that. I don't think that will be there. I don't, but maybe they will. I don't know. I like, as long as there's stuff to progress and it's fun, I don't mind level gating, because I want to be able to experience the whole game as well.
Right. I think most games with levels have a form of level gaining, but what I mean is like where you have to do a ridiculous amount of side content to get through the main content. I don't mind doing some side content, and if a game's really good, I will do a lot of side content.
Yeah.
But I think it's also healthier for a game, because some people don't care about side content, to sort of minimize the amount of side content you have to do. Where it's like, okay, I do have to go over there and I have to stop Bane, or I have to stop Two-Face, or whatever.
Yeah.
And that is one regard where I think this game will benefit from, is having Batman and DC villains in general. A lot of them are really well written. So you do have, like, you're not doing a side mission that's completely unrelated and you're just helping somebody find their lost goat or something like that, you know?
Yeah, no, 100%.
You are...
He took my frying pan. Go get my frying pan back.
Yeah. It is sort of like, oh, this is a small portion of like whatever Two-Face is doing, and by doing this, you sort of like illuminate the puzzle a little bit, what's going on with him, and like getting a step closer to taking him down. And there's a lot of cool stuff they can do around the side content that I'm hopeful for.
Yeah.
I just don't want them to force my hand into doing only the side content.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's the Batman talk kind of done. So let's bring up the Avengers, as you were saying.
Do you think these games cause a lot more pressure on the Avengers game?
No, because the MCU has been so successful that I feel like that game will fly off shelves just for little kids that just like, their parents know they can put an Avengers game in front of them and boom. And are you talking from sales point of view or from a quality standpoint? Sorry, I may have misunderstood what you're saying.
My point is more so in terms of longevity. It's not necessarily coming out the gate and getting people to buy the game, because I think that'll happen no matter what. I mean, because it's a game with service, they have a longer plan for the game. I mean, how long do they have until they sort of have to get on a really good stride? Is more so what I was referencing.
I think all these games will complement each other, if I'm honest with you. I feel like maybe they don't realize it, but I feel like the holes in which each of the games will have in terms of content, hopefully the other ones will fill. Where like, when I'm not playing Avengers, I'll be playing Gotham Knights. When I'm not playing Gotham Knights, I'll be playing Suicide Squad. When I'm not playing Suicide Squad, I'm back on Avengers. When Avengers' content's run out and then they just dropped a new event in Suicide Squad, I'm back to that. I feel like, in terms of content, it might help us as consumers actually to go, oh, I've hit max. Let's say with Avengers, right? We're all probably going to hit max level in probably a week, and just destroy through that content, and then hopefully, because we have an exact release date for Gotham Knights, right?
No, it's just 2021.
Just 2021. So Avengers does need to hit a stride pretty quickly, because the content, obviously, content's what keeps these games and services alive. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think the pressure's on more, because I do think they're quite different games and they're different worlds, and They are very much different from each other, from what's been shown, anyway. The only thing that might be close is Suicide Squad, but I generally feel like Suicide Squad is going to be better than Avengers, just from a pure combat standpoint. Like, Rocksteady.
We've seen Rocksteady games in
we
this
know,
sort of like...
we know what Rocksteady are made of and what they can do, right? Like, compared to Square's Avengers game.
Yeah.
I don't... Damn, it's a hard question. I don't think so, but I just don't know.
Yeah, I don't think Gotham Knights pressures it, because I don't know if Gotham Knights is aimed to be a games with service and it is only 2-player co-op.
Yeah.
I think they have to get in their stride by the time Suicide Squad game comes out.
But that's 2 years,
because
right?
That's 2 years. They have a ton of time.
Yeah.
But the problem comes in when that game comes out. The fact that you have Spider-Man as an exclusive character and all this stuff. What stops somebody who gets Suicide Squad and gets the whole game, gets all the characters, which we don't know if there's exclusive characters.
No, we don't know
exclusive
nothing.
characters.
Batman exclusive on Xbox.
Imagine. We don't know that, but assuming that, it's like it adds, I think, a layer of pressure where somebody's like, oh, I could get Suicide Squad, I could get into Suicide Squad, and I'm not getting like jerked around by Square Enix.
I'll be honest with you, I think it will be so irrelevant by then.
You think so?
In 2 years' time, I think Marvel Avengers is dead.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying is like,
I'm not saying there won't still be content in Marvel's Avengers. I don't think
just the player base
I'll be playing it in 2 years' time. In 2 years' time. I don't think you can name me a game that has kept my interest for 2 years. And not one that is as simplistic as Avengers. Like that, as much as I love the game, I really do. I enjoyed what I've played thus far. It's too simple for me to, unless there is some mad ass raid with puzzles that are so damn crazy that I'm like, wow,
it's the end game.
They did.
What are they going to do with the end game? We talked about it before. Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. I think that'll also be something with Suicide Squad if it ends up being a game with service, right? Is always like, it's not the journey of that game, because I think the journey of the game justifies a purchase of the game.
Yep.
I don't think it justifies you staying in the game.
Exactly. That's what the end game's for, right? That is what that is why you put a loot service in a game, is to keep people to keep playing it, to serve us to get to that next point. I understand now. My thing is, I'm expecting so much more out of the story of Suicide Squad than I am Avengers. Like, Avengers to me is gonna be a 7. Like, in my head. Like, I know we don't put numbers on things here, but a 7. It's a 7. It's a 7. It's a 7. Like, in my head, that's what it is. And maybe that's super unfair to the game. But from what I've played, and its simplistic nature, and its loot service, even its loot isn't that interesting. Isn't that fun? Like, it's not. It's just like, what, you think the Avengers' loot is fun?
I actually disagree. I really like the loot system in the game.
Maybe I just didn't get
I've been playing it
again.
I like, so there's a whole bunch of stats, and I'm a fan of stat sheets. Where it's like, oh, you get resilience on this piece, and it does this, and you lower these cooldowns, and you do all this stuff, and I really like that. But the really big thing with that is that I need a reason to do
they matter?
That's the point where it's like, I don't know if it matters.
Yeah,
because I was playing again yesterday.
Yeah,
and I got on, I played, I was getting loot, and I was like...
You didn't play Gears with us, remember?
No. You had a full squad. I was going to join, and you had a full squad. I was like, oh, man, I better...
You know I would have kicked full metal for you.
I don't want you to kick full metal.
I would have kicked full metal for you.
And then I saw you guys playing it, I was like, yeah, no, I did a good thing not booting this up. Or just does nothing for me.
I love but we'll talk about it later.
Yeah. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm really interested to see what Suicide Squad does in that regard, in growing your characters out and all this stuff, because that's something we haven't seen from Rocksteady in terms of multiple different characters.
Yeah.
So I'm really interested to see what that looks like and how different the characters are going to be, right? Are they going to each fit a mold, which I don't think they will. I do think they're going to be unique characters.
Yeah.
Just by the nature of the characters themselves and the way they were talking about it being very character driven. So that would make more sense for them to be unique. But like, what aspect do you do? Because it's really easy to like make a game like this and just be like, okay, here's our base character. Here's what happens. RB does this. Melee does this.
That's what
this
Avengers
does
is.
This. Yeah,
and
Avengers
you can
has
swap
the
out, and you
baseline
can
with
swap
the
out.
meter.
Yeah,
Yeah, Avengers sort of has something more, but at the same time, that's all it really is like this sort of basic sheet. And so I'm really hoping that Suicide Squad goes farther with it.
When I say what I'm saying, I'm talking specifically from what I've played of the beta. I have not played the full game. I do not know what the full game is going to feel like. I'm just to give very clear thoughts in case people think I'm like poo-pooing Avengers. I loved what I played. I'm just talking about my experience
it's a beta.
with what I played in the beta, just to be clear.
Yeah. I think for me, the game I always go to that like sort of doesn't do a great job at that is actually Destiny, and it's a game I really like. I love Destiny.
Yeah.
But Destiny, like whether you play a Warlock, whether you play a Titan, or whether you play a Hunter, the biggest differences are the super and the movement, the jump. Because like otherwise, like you have a melee ability, you have a grenade ability, and that's about it.
Yeah.
And a super. It's like very formulaic in what they all do.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping that with Suicide Squad and with maybe even Avengers once we get that full game is that they sort of do take liberties with that. Even the Gotham Knights game.
The thing they've got going for them, I feel like both the games we're talking about, Suicide Squad and Avengers, is they're superheroes, right? So each character does feel that much different. So it is that much more fun to level out 4 different characters, I feel like, compared to compared to the way it is with Destiny, right? That each the characters they're the same thing. It's just like you said, it's a different jump, it's a different super, but it's not that different in terms of who they are. Like the character of the war of these characters are not that different. But you know, that is it. It doesn't matter. What do you need, babe? You need keys. Put them in the box there. Haley is here. But yeah, so for me it's just like I don't know. I feel like they've already got the upper hand on other games, because each character does. Suicide Squad, each character, it looks like every character's going to look different. Every character's going to feel different, like very different from each other, right? So why wouldn't I don't know. Do you get what I'm trying to say though? Like. It just, I don't know. They've got our upper hand. It's how you force me to get to that end game, and then when you feed me that end game content, is the end game content fun? Number one, but all these games, and number two, the thing that I'm grinding for, is it worth having? And then what are you giving me to use that thing on after that?
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. I'm actually like really looking forward to what they do with Suicide Squad, because like I'm just thinking about it, and like having a raid where like Superman's the final boss would be
that would be
cool.
So fun, right?
Yeah, that'd be incredibly dope. But
think about that, Superman. There's so many other characters in there.
Wonder Woman, Aquaman,
Green Lantern,
Flash.
Like, imagine fighting Flash and he's just bombing around every 2 seconds, and that's the raid boss. Flash is the raid boss. Like,
on top of like, you could also have other villains, because they do fight villains sometimes.
Of course.
There really is no sort of like limit to what they can do, and like the scope of the game as well.
It could like you just said, it could be that game that does grab me for the next 2 years. I want to get into Fixer's Sack real quick. Well, no, we haven't got Fixer's Sack this week. There might have been questions. I'm going to hold them for next week, because I think we're going to be quite content light next week's show. I may even have to do 2 weeks, 2 episodes next week. So no questions this week. So I'm going to get straight into the dashboard. Unless you've been planning anything interesting that you've really wanted to talk about.
Mortal Shell.
Okay, let's talk about Mortal Shell then, before we get into the Avengers news.
Mortal Shell is such a good game fix. I absolutely love it.
Should I get a code?
Have you played Dark Souls?
I've played Bloodborne, I've played Sekiro, I've played... what's the other one I played? What's the other Souls like? Neo. Yeah. I haven't played Dark Souls, no.
Oh, man.
I've got to play Dark Souls. I have to play Dark Souls. So does this have co-op?
No co-op.
Okay.
Don't get it.
No, I mean, maybe I'll get it just to preview it, just to talk about it. But
Right.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'll check it out. I mean, it's probably a good stream game, right? It's probably frustrating as hell and stuff like that. So for people who don't know what Mortal Shell is, give us a little background, please.
It is basically a Souls-like game, and I'm somebody who doesn't like the term Souls-like, even though I understand it. But if it were to fit any game, I think it's this game.
From my understanding, they're like it's very Souls-like. It's like
they're
very huge fans of Dark
Yeah.
Souls. Yeah.
And it feels like a lot of games sort of take the basics of a Souls game and sort of like just slap it on, and they're like, here's the game. It's a Souls game, but it never really feels like its own thing. Mortal Shell very much so feels like its own thing, with like the way you can harden to block attacks, and you could be mid swing and you can harden. I think I talked about it a while back when I played the demo for the game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And like it's just this
is the game that you were talking about loving.
Yeah.
Yes, I do remember. Remember. Yeah.
From what I've played, it is on track. And I don't know if it'll stick the landing as far as the Xbox goes.
Got a quick question.
Yeah.
Just interrupt. You finished Last of Us yet?
This is an Xbox podcast, not a PlayStation podcast. What are you doing, Fix? This is not a PlayStation podcast.
I'm sorry.
This is on track as far as Xbox goes to be my game of the year so far.
I'll go put my mouse on charge. Keep talking. My mouse is dying. I can't move anything.
Yeah, so I just really, really, really enjoy the way the game is. I think there's some bugs and there's some hiccups where you can tell like it's a small team, it's a $30 game and all this stuff, and so you can understand that. Where if you go in expecting the same quality as like a Dark Souls 3, it won't be there because the team isn't big enough.
Yeah.
But I do think if you are a Souls fan, what is there is more than enjoyable enough to give it a shot. I really, really like this game.
There's a harden feature, right? Like you can harden, which helps you.
Yeah.
Like it helps the game be a little bit easier than a Dark Souls. I'm told. I'm heard. I've read. I didn't read. That's a lie.
I would say no.
Oh, okay.
I think the thing with Dark Souls is you can play a character with a shield and you can just block attacks. There's certain attacks that you can't block, and blocking takes stamina, but that generally just makes the game easier to approach. At least I find it easier to approach a Dark Souls game because of the blocking feature.
Yeah.
Where in Mortal Shell, it does have this sort of like skill level where it's like, oh, I'm gonna swing this, and I know he's gonna be able to hit me before that, but I'm going to be able to harden, and then most characters will have a stagger. But I also ran into some characters that the stagger's so short that if you're in the middle of attack and you're not close enough to hitting it and you harden and then you get hit, they still have enough time to hit you after that.
Yeah.
So it is sort of like this, you have to pick and choose what you do. Yeah. There is auto attack canceling where you can dash and roll in the middle of an auto attack.
Nice.
So it is, as much as it is like a Dark Souls game, I do also feel it has some more fluidity in lines with like a Bloodborne, where you are allowed to be more aggressive and the game gives you opportunities to like reward aggression.
Okay.
That I think is really, really cool. The world building, the characters, they sound like Dark Souls characters with like the weird like reverb on the voices and all that stuff.
Yeah, from what I've been told, it's very, very, very Dark Souls inspired. Like if you like Dark Souls, you'll probably like this game.
Yeah, no, it is, and it is a good Dark Souls.
Yeah. It's not like it does its own thing, obviously, clearly, like you can hear that. But if you like those type of games, those very hard, brutal games, like this is one for you. I've heard. So
I like the shell system also a lot. The way you have different characters, and once you start unlocking like the skill trees for those characters, they do end up differentiating and being more than just different stat sheets where like different characters will reward you for different styles of play, which I think is really cool. You get different weapons, and to unlock the weapons you actually have to beat a boss fight, at least with the one weapon I unlocked. I assume it's going to be like that for other weapons as well.
So how long are you in? How many hours in are you?
5 or 6 hours in.
Okay.
So I'm not like super far in.
How long
But
is it? Do you know?
I'm not entirely sure.
Okay.
It's a $30 game. I don't
20
like
to
I'm
30.
not expecting yeah, I'm not expecting a super long game.
Yeah.
I could even expect 15 to 20.
Yeah.
Like I don't it might not cross that 20 hour, which I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely
Huh.
fine with. Yeah, I'm very excited. I will say also, the game runs, at least from the beta, the game runs a lot better on PC than it does Xbox.
Okay.
A lot of loading screens, but that's done, I think, because it is a smaller team. They can't
Yeah.
make these bigger worlds. It is easier to do like here's one segment, you load into the next segment and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I really like this game. If you are a Souls fan, I recommend picking it up. It is $30. It's only digital right now. I think they're releasing a physical version down the line because enough people asked for it because they weren't going to originally do a physical version at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll give it a go. Maybe. I have been playing a little game you may have heard of, Crash, called PGA Tour 2K21. Whew. Let me tell you, this brings me back, bro. Honestly, I know like some people will be like, what the hell? Fix is playing a golf game? Man, I don't know if you saw episode 1 of the Let's Play series I threw up on YouTube. You can check it out, youtube.com/MCFixer. And it's so fun. I'm having so much fun with it. Doing a tournament by tournament, you create your character, you get to customize him, you're earning your prize money, which then you put into your clothes, you're getting ready to earn your sponsorships. I'm hitting some amazing shots in it. It's just, I've learned that I want to get into golf in real life. Because I think golf is quite a boring sport to watch, in my opinion. But it's actually one of those, it's one of those experiences for me right now that is super relaxing. I turn my phone over, I don't look at my phone, and I just play. And it just reminds me of when I used to play Tiger Woods, to be honest with you. It's the best golf game since one of the very best golf games, which were Tiger Woods games, to be honest with you. It's just everything is very simple for beginners, but if you want to get nitty gritty and real grindy with it and know your golf, it's there as well. Like NBA, I feel like, where like a casual can pick up NBA and play, but someone who knows NBA, 2K, they're gonna play this game like, yeah. I'm loving what I've played. Sorry, go on.
I was just gonna say, so there is like a skill level to it.
100%.
You do get better the more time you put into it.
Yeah. I didn't. So my first tournament, which I had to come in the top 50, I ended up finishing 8th, I believe. And then my second tournament, spoilers for the Let's Play, I guess. I actually win the tournament, but I don't win it outright. I actually tie for first, and it all comes down to my last hole. And you have to watch it. I haven't got the edit back on it yet, but the editor who edited the first episode absolutely destroyed it. He did such a great job on it that I'm hoping this one's going to be just as good. And it's so much fun. I tried to cheat in the game, Crush. So
it doesn't let you.
So again, this should make it all into the Let's Play. So I'm playing the hole. I mess up a shot. I'm like, F this. I'm just restarting this whole episode. Like, clear dashboard, click, quit, boom. Start playing. I'm like, boom, mucking around with the stick as it loads. It loads me straight back into that match at that moment, and I've hit the ball mad.
Damn.
I'm like, what? The game won't even let me cheat. I'm like, come on.
Respect to the game.
Yeah, no, big respect to the game, because like if you did have a crash or something like that, you wouldn't have had to have restarted over. Like just something I didn't think of. But yeah, a lot of fun. 18 holes go by so fast. And it's just, it's a lot of fun. If you like golf games, or you liked any of those Tiger Woods games, PGA Tour 2K21 is a game for you. I haven't come across anything too microtransaction-y yet, but I also haven't touched online or anything like that. My character is pretty much a basic bitch at the moment. So I will report back next week when I've got a little bit deeper in. But for now, everything seems A-okay, to be honest with you.
I'm actually glad to hear that. Do you think that if you're not a golf fan or a golf game fan, that this game could possibly be the game that pulls you in?
No. If you have no interest in golf, this isn't one for you. It's a golf sim. It's like if you like football. If you don't like football, you're not going to play FIFA. If you don't like American football, you're not going to play Madden. Like, this is not one of those arcadey games. This is a simulation of golf. And yeah, it's easy to pick up and play and be relatively okay at the game. But if you're not into golf, nah, this is not one for you.
Got it.
But yeah, I'm having a great time with it. Having a great time. Even going to the driving range next week. So, should be...
Really?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's one of those very... You know what it's like being on the internet and working on the internet, streaming for 8 hours a day. Like, I'm constantly on screens. I just want something I can do for an hour where I'm away from all of that technology. What are you laughing at? Why are you laughing so hard?
This is funny because I saw a tweet a few days ago where it's like the gaming industry's changed to the point where like people are like gamers are starting to golf. This is weird. Yeah, you see a lot of gamers golfing nowadays.
That's literally
a lot of them.
I'm just like, I need something to decompress, and if that is me smacking 100 balls in a straight line, and maybe I'll go with some headphones in and just listen to some music. You know what I'm like. I stay indoors a lot, like to go out, get some fresh air, and to do some sort of sport. It is a sport. I don't know why I'm air quoting, but when I play, it definitely won't be a sport. It's just gonna be me hitting balls. Yeah, I don't know, man. Just enjoying it a lot. Other than that, what have I been playing? Call of Duty, obviously, new season. Meh.
Same old.
Meh. Yeah. Got some wins. I'm up to 30 wins now.
I got 31. Nice.
You have not got 31 wins. You don't have the game installed. I was about to say, you don't even have the game installed anymore. I don't know, man. They need to freshen it up. This new season just weren't what I needed it to be.
I think the next season, whatever season comes with the next
game.
Call of Duty, I think that's where you'll get a big shakeup. A new map or a drastic map change.
No new map. I don't want a new map. I don't want a new map.
You just want map changes.
We've learned that with PUBG. They have to do what Fortnite's done. Battle Royales do not need new maps. They need to be updated maps.
I actually kind of disagree with that. Okay. Apex Legends has 2 maps and they're both very good maps, and they do their own thing.
Yeah, I don't play Apex for that reason. 2 maps, I'm out.
If it's more than one map, if it's more than one gun, I don't want to play it.
Facts. But yeah, even the new meta, there was so many bugs this season. Just
the invisible guns.
It's just been a pain.
The update to fix the invisible guns was 66 gigabytes.
But they compressed the game down as well.
I get that and I understand that. It's just
it's a pain in the arse. It's a pain in the arse. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I am still addicted. It is still my go-to game. It's the game that gets me the most numbers. I do feel like I'm slowly gonna be weaning off it. More and more, I'm playing it for 3 hours, and I'm playing 2 hours, and I'm like, let's switch over to Ghost of Tsushima. Let's go play Fall Guys. Slowly but surely, it is losing me, but I'm waiting for that next thing. You know,
Avengers should be that.
Avengers is going to be that next thing, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely. So,
I'm actually looking forward to Avengers.
Speaking of Avengers, Crash, let's get into the news, my dude. This week's dashboard news. Speaking of Avengers, Marvel Avengers, 15 unannounced characters reportedly found in data mine. This one was written by Jordan Aluma from IGM. 15 unannounced characters have reportedly been data mined from Marvel's Avengers beta, including the likes of Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, War Machine, and Marvel. With the game's beta now in the wild, it didn't take long for data miners to begin pulling it apart and looking for hints as to the game's future, and 2 separate delves into the code reveals listings for multiple unannounced playable characters. Here we go, Crash. Ant-Man, number 1. The Wasp, number 2. Vision, number 3. Black Panther, number 4. Doctor Strange, number 5. Number 6 was the Falcon. Number 7, Marvel. Number 8, Mockingbird. Number 9, Quake. Number 10, Winter Soldier. Number 11, Scarlet Witch. Number 12, Captain Marvel. Number 13, Kate Bishop. Number 14, She-Hulk. And number 15, War Machine. How do you feel about this list of characters, Crash?
It doesn't hype me up too much, I'm gonna be honest.
It doesn't at all me either. I was like,
I like that they went with some lesser known characters.
Quake,
and they also
Marvel.
hit Yeah,
Kate
but
Bishop.
my
Yeah.
issue is also like you have Marvel and Captain Marvel. Kate Bishop's like Hawkeye, Ant-Man and Wasp. It's like a
Yeah.
lot of like double dipping that I that just doesn't do it for me. I'd rather them go for like a completely different
Where's
character, right?
Storm? Where's Wolverine? Where's
Wolverine, like Wolverine would be so good for this game. He'd
there's got to
fit
be a
so
reason.
well.
There's got to be a reason not.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
or is this season 1 of the characters? And like we were just saying, how did you get people to play this game in a year's time? Wolverine comes
Is new
in.
characters.
How did you get people to play it in 2 years' time? It's who else would be up there? Deadpool. Like, is that where it's at? Is that where this game's at? It has to. You have to give us a bunch of B-list characters that are going to keep us willing playing the game for it to be a 4-year game, 3-year game, 6-year game. You know?
No, absolutely. They have to do what Marvel Heroes did, and that's exactly what Marvel Heroes did. I think the problem for me comes that I don't know how long they're planning to take in between releases. Because if they're planning the Wolverine for the second season, when does the second season come? Is that in 2020, 2022, or is that sometime in 2021?
It's got to be 20. I feel like
15 characters.
15 characters would from now to 2021.
That's a lot of characters.
That is a lot of characters.
It's a lot of characters with like the way the game works as well, right?
Yeah.
You have to like flesh out those kits. You have to not make them feel the same. Because like when we get Kate Bishop can't feel like Hawkeye unless Kate Bishop's only a Hawkeye skin, right? Where it's like she has her own challenge cards and all this stuff, but she's just basically a reskin of Hawkeye, which I'd be fine with. You know, I'd be fine with these characters that do overlap for you to do something like that. But how do you do that with like Ant-Man and the Wasp? Those have to be their own characters. Marvel and Captain Marvel have to be their own characters because they don't really overlap to a certain degree. War Machine and Iron Man, right? It's just how exactly does this list play out in the long term?
I agree with you. I always thought the first season was going to be Ant-Man, Black Panther, Winter Soldier, Captain Marvel, Scarlet Witch.
Stuff.
I expected that. Like I say to you, I do agree with you in the way of like, none of these get me like juiced to want to come back and play. Like that's not what this list does for me.
Like I'm a huge Captain Marvel fan, so I'm happy that she's gonna be in the game, right? Yeah. I'm happy that we're getting Black Panther. I like
She-Hulk.
as well.
She-Hulk could be cool, but is like you just said, is it a reskinned Hulk?
Yeah. How different is she gonna play from Hulk, or is she just gonna be like female Hulk? Right?
Yeah. No, 100%.
Which like that's my main like problem with this list is there's like a lot of overlaps, and I don't know how distinct the characters will feel from each other because you do have a problem when you release 5 characters and every other character feels like the previous one.
It's a reskin, yeah. No, 100%.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know.
We have to wait and see this. We will have to wait and see. And how quick will we get these characters? Who knows? Yeah. I think Ant-Man's the next one they announced, by the way. Like, because he's already been hinted at.
Yeah, well,
with the Hank Pym stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, Ant-Man more than likely. I think Ant-Man's a safe bet, or the Wasp, depending how they decide to go with that.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Next up, Control publisher explains why the game, why the base game won't get a free next-gen upgrade. This one was from IGN, Wesley Belek, I believe. 505 Hat Games has released a blog post that explains why the base game of Control won't get a free next-gen upgrade. 505, the publisher behind Remedy Entertainment, Control, announced the Ultimate Edition of the game last week, which will come with the base game, its 2 expansions, and will allow for a free next-gen upgrade for the Xbox Series X and PS5. The announcement caused an uproar because it turns out the next-gen upgrade is only available to those who purchased the Ultimate Edition, meaning those who have already purchased and supported the game will need to buy the next-gen version. Quote, the upgrade path we're offering is only possible with upgrading from the same version of the game, 505 Games said in a blog post made on August 20th. As we are only doing additional development on Control Ultimate Edition on the next-gen platforms, we unfortunately are unable to offer an upgrade path to all existing Control players. End quote.
That's a bad quote.
I did a bad job, or you just don't like the quote?
No, the quote is just bad. Because that quote just basically says that We just didn't want to do the base version. It's
We,
basically what the quote is.
we want to make more money.
Yeah.
We want to make more money. We're not working on that version of the game anymore. That game is done. All our efforts will be going into Control, up-resing that, blah, 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 blah. You know.
Yeah.
You know.
I know.
I don't care.
Like
I don't care because it doesn't affect me. And I haven't played Control yet, and probably won't, to be honest with you. Unless the Alan Wake stuff is, if I hear that Alan Wake stuff is amazing, maybe I will. But honestly, I'd probably just prefer a new Alan Wake game, if I'm being honest. So, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I feel bad for people who bought the base game and want this on their next gen console. I'm pretty sure I saw a quote of like, you can play this via backwards compatibility on some systems, the base version, but it won't be upgraded. I'm pretty sure I saw a quote like that somewhere.
So at least you'll be able, but like,
it won't be in ray tracing. No, I'm guessing it won't be. I think it's already 4K, right? So I'm guessing it won't have ray tracing, and maybe the frame rate will be a little bit lower, stuff like that. I'm guessing.
Yeah, I don't know.
No,
like if you want to play like the Alan Wake stuff, and you're gonna, I don't know. I still feel like you can give some like explanations to the game. I don't like the decision. I don't think it makes sense. I think anti-consumer. I think it's a greedy move, which I'm fine. Like if you just want to do it for the money, that's cool. But like just don't hit us up with a quote like this is my whole thing.
Fair enough. The next Call of Duty game has Black Ops Cold War has been announced. This one was written by Polygon's Austin Goslin. Treyarch's next installment in the Call of Duty franchise is a return to familiar territories. Earlier today, the developer released the first teaser trailer for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. The first teaser, first discovered by Charlie Intel, is made up entirely of news reels and historic footage, likely providing the background for the game's plot. The trailer itself is heavy on the Cold War and introduced suppliers to the Soviet spy, codename Persians. According to the teaser and some light Googling, Persians, I think I'm saying that right, Persians, I think so, was never caught, nope, go on. Perseus, sorry, not Persians. I would never have got that. Sounding that would not have come. Was never caught and infiltrated deeply into some of the most sensitive US defense illustrators in order to give the USSR an edge in the global arms war. I hated this trailer. I understood what the teaser. It's not a trailer, so I shouldn't say it's a trailer. I hated the teaser. I didn't like it at all. I felt like there was no information given to what the actual game was. I get that it's just a tonal piece of like, this is what we're going to be doing. It bored me. It bored me. That being said, I've realized I've had like an influx of Call of Duty fans come into my life as of lately. So everyone's sort of expecting me to be hype on COD. And I'm like, I like Battle Royales. Like, the only reason I'll be, like, getting this game, unless I get it for a review, will be because of whatever it's going to do in the BR. Like, literally, that's how they're going to get me. It's like, oh, you have to unlock all these new games in multiplayer to get them in the BR, and they're the new meta. That's how you will get me. Like, I won't even do the Bruin stuff in the game that I own currently, which is, like, you have to get 15 kills in smoke or some bullcrap like that. And I'm like, I'm not doing it. It's not fun. It's not fun.
Yeah.
And as much as I like Treyarch, I like Black Ops, are we going to get zombies in this? I've bought too many games now where I've bought the game for zombies and not played zombies that I'm at the point where I'm like, I'm just going to keep playing my Warzone. Honestly, that's where I'm at.
Yeah. Yeah, it really, like, I saw a ton of people hyped for it as well, and like I'm just like, they showed absolutely nothing for the game.
Yeah,
like literally nothing. And I saw a bunch of people excited, and I'm kind of in the same boat as you. Is like, I'm interested in it for the Warzone aspect of it. Like if it's something like, oh, this comes out, I'll download Warzone again.
Yeah. If it's something worth it,
cool. Yeah. But yeah, it doesn't, like, we knew what time like the timepiece and the tonal piece basically by like the title. You don't really need much context to that.
I don't think so. I just think it's a poor teaser. Like they could have given something better for a teaser. For me,
I think the big teaser for me is like the fact they gave a date when we get more news. But I think I would have been just as fine if they dropped the date. Is my thing. Is like I didn't need the video. People telling me, oh man, they're showing off the new Call of Duty, and then I open the video and it's just that, and I'm like,
I think the problem why we may feel like this as well is because we're not playing the game as well. True. Like we're not getting sent the packages that we need to find the puzzle and then finding what it is in the game. That's a lot of the fun of it for some people. We just get the end result, which is the teaser trailer. Like,
also we haven't been for a while super into Call of Duty. Like
you say that we gave it Game of the Year 2 years ago, a year ago,
right? But that's for single player, and that is Infinity Ward.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, what will Treyarch do with this? For single player, I'm going to be super excited for what Infinity Ward does next, right? Treyarch is different. Treyarch before used to have the better campaigns. A lot of people think.
Yeah.
So maybe this will be a good campaign, but for me, it's like until I see the game and I see the game in action, I usually don't get hyped for a Call of Duty where it's like it's just a Call of Duty, you know?
Yeah, but I'm hoping they've learned from the last game, right? Where it's like, oh, if we tell a really interesting story, the Cold War story for me is just like I don't really care. I'll be honest, I don't really care about that, like that sort of thing. Maybe I'll play it and love it, but at the moment I'm like, oh, whatever.
I've seen so many like stories and stuff like revolving around the Cold War that it's like you really have to do something different with that game to like get me interested into that aspect of it. And that would be like characters and stuff like that, which I think Modern Warfare did really good. They introduced characters that you cared about and wanted to know. Maybe they could have done that a little bit better, sure, but I think they did do a really good job of
for a Call of Duty game. I think they did a great job.
Yeah. So hopefully Treyarch can like continue that. Characters sell stories, not necessarily the narrative itself.
Yeah.
I think that's a really underrated part of writing in general, is writing characters, because I think that's what you spend most of your time with the story. So hopefully that's what we see with this next Call of Duty.
Yeah. Moving on. Sea of Thieves summer event is all about the little things. Polygon's Cass Marshall wrote this one. Rare has released the August update for Sea of Thieves, which kicks off an event known as the Summer of Sea of Thieves. This event is far less involved or cinematic as the Ashen Winds update, which introduced ferry pirates commanding spectacle ships, but it has a lot of nice bonuses and reasons for players to log in regularly. The August event... sorry, I thought you were going to say something. The August event is called Hunters of the Deep, and it tasks players with hunting down megalons in order to collect their teeth. Megalodons? What's that?
It's a prehistoric shark.
Is it really?
Shark. Yeah.
Interesting.
I think they have skeletons for it and stuff.
In order to collect their teeth, shark teeth can unlock... Well done, Crash. Can unlock a new set of ship cosmetics called the Shrouded Ghost, allowing players to make their sloop, or gallon far more spooky. If the players miss the August event, they will be able to pick the Shrouded Ghost ship set up through the Pirate Emporium for real money.
I like that.
If you miss it in the event, you can go back and buy it for real money.
Yeah.
So
I like that which I don't think they'll do it, but I would really like that if they still brought the event back every like once in a blue moon, and it's like, hey, you can get the ship again.
I think it's a smart thing to do for a game as a service like this. I'll be honest, it's like you missed it in game, but not even you can earn it, because I feel like as long as it's not overly priced, if it's not like crazy priced, it's a couple of quid, then cool. If it's like $1 or $2, fine. It's like you missed the event, no problem. You were busy in the month of August. Pay £2 and you can have it. But if it's more than that, I think that's where I get a bit worried. But I haven't heard bad things about CFE's microtransactions, so
yeah, I think this kind of brings us to a deeper conversation that we don't really have, and I don't think there's a lot of this conversation happens a lot in MMO type games in general, and consoles don't really have too many of them. They do have some, but not as
Yeah.
many. But does being able to buy the ship devalue the ship for the people who had to work through it? And let's say it is challenging. Does then somebody just being able to buy it once the event is over, like, hey, I don't want to deal with all that stuff. I have to do this thing that's really difficult and I have no interest in doing it. Does that then devalue it because somebody could just buy it and rock the ship?
To me,
yeah.
No, I don't care.
Mm.
Because me earning it means more to me. It's like, honestly, dude, it's like anything in life. I've always said this. Like, I have a lot of friends out there who are very wealthy, and their mum and dad are in positions of like giving them money to buy a house, right? Like, they're gonna have a house. I'm saving for a house currently. I know that I have put blood, sweat, and tears into saving for this house. It means more to me. Doesn't mean nothing to them.
Yeah.
Like, should they not have a house? No, because they were in a better position or they could afford it. No, they should not have it. They should not be able to have it. But I know what I went through to get it. So it's the same thing I'm trying to apply to this, right? Where it's like, I know what I went through to get it. Me and Crash and whoever else, we went on our voyage and we grinded it out and we got this and we know what we did. And cool, Sarah and Tiffy over there, they bought it. Cool, they get to, so what? So what? Like, they had the money to buy it. They didn't have the time to put in. I had the time to buy it. I had the time to work it and do it, and I've got it. Like, to me, it's like, why? I don't know. And it benefits the game, and it benefits the devs, and it benefits the publisher if they do buy it. So, I don't know, man. Like, yeah, I don't know.
I think I disagree with this.
That's fine.
Only with the purpose, with the aspect of this being a multiplayer game, and in general, when you do go out and you get these cosmetics and you get the armor and all whatever it is in whatever game you're playing.
Yeah.
One of the coolest things is like walking away with it, and whenever you see someone with the ship is like, oh, I know.
I don't think this is that deep. I'll be honest with you.
I was just gonna bring that up, and I was gonna say the problem is with Sea of Thieves, how many people view it as that type of game, right?
Yeah.
How many people view it as like simply like, I'm getting on and I'm playing this game, not necessarily I'm playing with other people online, not necessarily all those aspects. It's just like, I'm getting on and playing this game with my group of friends, and we're the only ones that are playing it, so it's only relevant in our little bubble.
Yeah,
right?
I get what you mean. Like, it's the same thing with like banners and stuff like that, right? It's like, oh, damn, you've got the gold Charizard banner on your Pokemon thing. Oh, I know that means you beat the raid 1,000 times. Like, I don't think you should be able to buy that. But
yeah,
a cosmetic for a ship, like, I don't think anybody, maybe, I don't play CFE, so I shouldn't say that, but I know I wouldn't look at someone's ship and go, oh, you didn't work as hard as me because I know you bought it. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
To me, it just wouldn't be a big deal.
Yeah.
I think it depends. It's definitely a game-by-game basis for me, where it's like, if it was, let's say, Avengers, like I say, Marvel's Avengers comes out, and we have to do there's a raid, and it's kill, I don't know, Doctor Doom. Yeah, and like to get the new banner, which is whatever, like, or even like a costume, right? For whatever character it is you beat it with. It's like, I wouldn't want that to be bought, because like, if I had to do that and it had to be done on ultra hard or whatever, that I would want that, but like, that's not, I don't know, maybe.
No, I agree
I don't know. I think it's definitely a game-by-game basis, personally.
Yeah.
It depends. It depends of like, it depends. Yeah, it all depends.
Yeah, I agree on the aspect of Sea of Thieves. It's just, I think it's always something that's important to bring up with microtransactions. I think it's one of the less talked about things with microtransactions, where people just hate on microtransactions because it's the game wants to make money. How dare you?
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I agree. I don't think it would bother me. I don't think it bothers me for Sea of Thieves.
Especially a game that's so community based like that. It's like,
yeah, it is like, I don't view that as a
there's no PvP
game
like,
where I'm only interacting with my friends. Yeah, but for me, when I play that game, I'm just interacting with my friends. If I could, and I went out and I could never see another ship, I would preferably play that. No,
you wouldn't, no. I don't think you would. Because those moments are fun. Those moments do, and they don't happen as frequently as you think. So yeah, it's not that bad anymore. So
I think of the game was the way it used to be, where that you'd run into it a lot.
Yeah, no, it's not.
That would be a problem for me.
I played for 2 hours the other day with a bunch of people, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. We got done by 2 ghost ships more than we did PvP. So
even when we played, we didn't run into any
no,
PvP.
exactly.
So yeah, no, so I do think I think it's a really good point you brought up that it's a game by game basis.
Speaking of game by game basis, I wish everything was like this game. Dead by Daylight gets crossplay and gets a friends list. This one was written by Polygon's Owen Good. On Thursday, Dead by Daylight developer Braver Interactive introduced cross-console features, including multiplayer matchmaking and cross-platform friends lists. The developer boosted a player base of more than 25 million, so this could significantly expand matchmaking opportunities for console users. Crossplay now encompasses PS4, Xbox One, and Switch, where the survival horror game launched in 2017, and 2019, respectively. Quote, players on console and PC will now face trials together, which will surely bring new metas to the Dead by Daylight. Behavior Interactive said in a statement, the company noted that playing with friends from any platform was a feature widely requested by a community. It called the new cross-friends list an unprecedented multiplayer experience. I generally am so happy about this. As someone who we played Dead by Daylight for, I'd say a couple of weeks, maybe even a month, enjoyed our time with it. We didn't really grind it out to the fullest, but when we played it, me, you, Haley, Paul played with us, FNH Paul, that is. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, right? You enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, I liked it. I really like the fact that it's crossplay.
Yeah.
I think that is such a good thing.
I feel like this might become my new evening stream game, honestly, where I'm like,
so?
Well, yeah, because you can just hop on for a couple of hours. Who wants to play? And it's like, it's so dirt cheap on PC anyway. It's in Game Pass on PC and Xbox. It's like, who wants to play? Who's got Game Pass? Let's jump on and play. Yeah. Everybody's welcome. Like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like it will be. I feel like it will become that game where I'm like, I've got 3 hours, 2 hours to kill. Let me hop on and play that.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. Yeah, I really, really like this. I think I really want more games crossplay. Avengers doesn't have crossplay, which I think will hinder it quite a bit.
Yep.
I'm interested to see if I don't think Gotham Knights will have it, but I'm interested to see if Suicide Squad does it.
Oh, that's a really good point. I didn't think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't until we were just talking about
2022 it should have, right?
Yeah, but who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows what like developers decide to do, because they could probably sell more copies, and it is one of those things where like, do you get more money for selling more copies, or does the idea of game loyalty, will people be more likely to spend money on your game if they only have to buy one copy, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's really interesting. I'd love to know numbers from companies who have switched, like Call of Duty. I'd love to know what I assume Call of Duty's more profitable now, right?
I don't know, because their monetization program is trash.
All that stuff. Or not Game Pass, with Battle Pass, but a lot of people buy it, and a lot of people do buy a lot of the gun skins and all that stuff.
I don't, so maybe yeah, you're probably right. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I wonder if it's a case of you sell less copies, but the people who don't buy a copy are more willing to put money. Because I'd 100% be that way.
Yeah.
Like if I were to get, like, I'm probably gonna get Avengers on 2 platforms.
Yeah, same.
If Avengers has microtransactions, I will not be spending money on that game.
No, I'm not either.
I just won't.
Yeah, it does have microtransactions. They've already said that, so yeah. Yeah, I'm not putting money in it.
Absolutely not. Unless I'm playing the game like a year later, at that point where I'm like, okay, I enjoy the game enough.
I got my $120 worth out of these 2 versions. Yeah.
Or it's like, okay, you want to keep putting out cool characters, new content. Sure, I'll keep supporting you at that point, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, more crossplay, please, in the future.
More crossplay, please. Next up, there's one that you added. Action RPG. Yeah. I actually changed the story, so it was just an announcement. Action RPG Black Myth Wukong. Did I say that right? Wukong? Revealed. This one was taken from IGN Joe Screbbles. Black Myth Wukong. Sorry, say that one more time.
Wukong. Kong.
Kong.
Can you say
okay,
King Kong?
Yeah. I see it now. No, I see it now. I see it now. An action RPG based on fuck you, can I say King Kong? Based on the classic Chinese tale Journey to the West has been announced for consoles and PC alongside an impressive 13-minute gameplay video. That video is getting some section of the internet very excited indeed. Developed by Game Science, Black Myth appears to be taking Souls-like approach to the gameplay, but with a vibrant element art style created in the Unreal 4 engine, and a neat stealth mechanic in which you turn into a Cicada?
Cicada?
Nah, CI.
Cicada. It's cicada.
Cicada?
Cicada.
What does that mean?
Cicada. It's
Do you know what that is?
That's the name of it. It's a bug.
Is it really?
Yeah.
To avoid bigger threats. Wait, I want to Google what cicada is. 1 second. You're correct. It is a bug.
Yeah, I just Googled it. That's how I knew it was a bug.
Damn it. Sorry. You can watch the 30 minutes alpha. We'll leave it there for the rest of this story because it goes on to go through to Reddit and stuff. But I watched the trailer.
It looks good.
It looks really good. Very vibrant. Very, very much faster than the Dark Souls. It looks.
Yeah, I didn't get Dark Soul vibes when I was watching it.
No, I did. I definitely did get Souls-like vibes from it. But I feel like it's any game that is big beast and little person and probably going to be very hard.
Shadow Colossus vibes.
I've never played Shadow Colossus. It's an Xbox podcast.
True.
It looked good. It looked really good. I like the look of it. Again, it's not one of these games that I'll probably play, if I'm honest. Unless it has, if it had basic co-op, that's all I want from one of these games is a game like this that has normal co-op. Just because I want someone who is good at the game to be able to let me enjoy it. I feel you're doing all the damn damage and I'm poking this bear 10 times, but I feel like I'm helping. That's cool. I'd be
You should have played Code Vein.
But I didn't.
True. But no, I'm actually I'm excited for this. It is really early in development. They have a small team. This was just a demo of the game to get more people into the development team.
And it did 4.6 million views.
Yeah, this absolutely blew up the internet for like a little bit. But yeah, I really like this. I think it's really cool. I like when games take mythological aspects to it and sort of like explore that, like the way God of War does Norse mythology, so on and so forth. I think there's a lot of built-in story there that lets people play the base game, but also like theorize where the future of the franchise and everything
can go.
Which I think is healthy for a game community. And you have all of that like pretty much pre-built, so you don't have to do as much effort in making your world stand out and everything.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to this.
Me too. Next up, Fortnite teases Marvel's Thor for Season 4. Epic Games has teased that Thor may be coming to Fortnite as part of Season 4. While rumours swirl that the entire season may be Marvel-themed, the Fortnite account tweeted out a short clip with the God of Thunder overlaid on the game's logo, as well as the release date of August 27th, 2020. A massive Marvel branding sticker appeared underneath the art, suggesting that this promotion extends beyond 4 and may incorporate some more heroes into the game as the season progresses. HyperX has teased a number of details about Season 4, claiming that it will feature a Marvel/Thor point of interest, a Wolverine skin, and comic book pages for players to collect hidden throughout the Fortnite map. This could get me in.
This is cool.
This could get me in. I do. The problem is Fortnite is so slow. Have you played Fortnite since COD?
No.
Fortnite is so slow.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this is a really cool way to explore game. Not a game franchise, but a franchise in a different way. The same way Final Fantasy 14 had a whole bunch of raids for like Nier Automata and a whole bunch of other games. I think that's something we've seen Capcom take like sort of in the forefront, putting characters
Monster
in
Hunter.
games. I think that's really cool. I really like. I really like what Fortnite's done in that regard, and when they had the Batman event and all that.
Yeah.
What do you want?
Doggo wants you.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I totally get it. I as someone who is looking for the next fix of something, maybe this could be the thing that gets me in. I don't know though, because I didn't care about the other stuff. So will I care about this? I don't know. But I do love Wolverine. But do I need the skin? No.
I got the Hulk fists for playing the beta, and I'm like, I haven't even
linked it. I haven't even linked them. Yeah, I haven't even linked them.
I'm like, I don't really necessarily care for this as much as I like Fortnite and all that.
Yeah,
I liked Fortnite.
I think I
don't dislike it right now.
Yeah, I don't. Nor do I. It's just a case of I've moved on.
Yeah,
it's not. They need to do something super drastic. Yeah, in like not having building, and then maybe I'd go back. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
If they had a non-building like playlist, I might go back as well.
We probably would.
To be fair, I really enjoyed it when it didn't. When they had that for
one hour, weekend. 1 hour. Yeah,
that's all we got to play, and then it was taken away from us. So we were so excited.
It wasn't even no builds neither. It was just like there was still a little bit. It was just like
you could build ramps and walls.
Maps.
You could build like 4 things.
Yeah, it was just yeah. I don't know.
And it made your builds more impactful, I felt like, as opposed to the skill of building more impactful.
Yeah. Moving on, last story this week, which is murder mystery horror Martha is Dead, is coming to Xbox Series X and PC in 2021. The murder mystery horror game Martha is Dead is coming to Xbox Series X and PC in 2021, and we have an exclusive new gameplay trailer to show you. You can go check that out on IGN. And that's last year, Martha is Dead comes from the LKA, the team behind the Town of Light, which blurred the lines between real-life history and fiction horror. Martha is Dead takes a similar line, set in Italy countryside as World War II draws to a close. A woman is found drowned, and her twin sister is left to reckon with her murder as the war draws closer to her home. LKA has now confirmed the game will be coming next year to PC via Steam and Xbox Series X. The big thing about this actually, Crash, was it was first reported to be a PlayStation exclusive, a PS5 exclusive, which might have been misreported or something, maybe, by Games Radar actually. But that was like the big thing of why I was like, oh, this is coming to Xbox. I love survival horror games, and it's something that I want to play more of. And it looks like Xbox are trying to be the place to go for horror games all of a sudden. I don't know why, but it's kind of where they've gone with it, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, this Scorn. What am I forgetting? There's a couple more that.
Was Blair Witch exclusive?
No, Blair Witch, but it was for a little bit. It was for a little bit.
Got it.
And then it came to all other platforms. And yeah, I think it's just they're trying to diversify the portfolio, like we keep saying.
Yeah, they just want a wide variety of games instead of like, here's what they're trying to escape from that mentality of
shooter.
Xbox is a multiplayer game place, right? It's where you go to play.
Medium was what I was thinking, by the way. Scorn, Medium, now this. Yeah, obviously. I'm interested in it. I'm happy it's coming. I look forward to playing it. The graphics look awesome from what they've shown if you watch the gameplay trailer. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this one. So hope to see more of it soon. Moving on, Xbox games with gold for the end of August. We're almost there, so there'll be new ones next week. Available, Portal Knights available August 1st to August 31st. Override available August 16th to September 15th. And Red Faction 2 available August 16th to August 31st. Crash, let's plug and get ourselves out of it, dude. What you got to plug this week?
I got to plug the YouTube page. youtube.com/my Xbox and me.
Go and check out My Xbox and Me, everybody. You've got myxboxandme.com. You have youtube.com/myxboxandme. Me and Chris will figure out a better pattern of what we're going to do on the channel again. I was enjoying doing the live streams. It was just sort of messing up my days and stuff. So maybe we can figure out doing an evening stream, if possible, once a week. But again, time zones suck. And Chris has got a lot going on. And I've got a lot going on. And life.
Also, remember to post into Discord, to tweet at us whether you guys want whether you guys prefer the podcast being a news-based podcast or we talk about topics instead.
Yes. That's important.
Yeah.
Very, very important. You can find me everywhere at MC Fixer, of course. Check out. I'm gonna give a little plug to Insert Coin. Go check out Insert Coin clothing. They're announcing a bunch of new stuff. As most people I've never spoken about on this podcast, but I'm a brand ambassador for them now. You can use code ISCFixer at checkout to get 20% off. And yeah, I'm gonna be streaming over on their Twitch channel very, very soon, which you'll know about. Because I want to blow that up. I want us to go through and blow it up and be the most viewed. Because there's bigger streamers than me on there, and I've been watching their streams, and they ain't been getting like crazy numbers. But I know my community, and I know they're gonna come through hard for me. So I want to blow it up and be like, wow, Fix is a big deal. We like this guy, you know? You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying. So we're gonna try and do that. But yeah, you can find me everywhere at MC Fixer. The big thing to push right now is my personal YouTube channel, youtube.com/MC Fixer. Go watch the PGA Tour videos. There's a new streaming tip video up. By the time this comes out. No, that should be out today, actually. So, no, there should just be plenty of content there. So go and check it out. Trying to hit 5,000 subscribers. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please go and subscribe. I would appreciate it.
I'll go do that right now.
Thank you, Crash. Thank you. And until next time, I will love you, leave you, and see you all later. Goodbye.
Goodbye.